It all kicks off with a pretty simple question. But this is one of those questions that takes us from the world of clean, logical code all the way to a philosophical debate happening in a bar built for AIs. So today, we're diving into a whole new philosophy for artificial intelligence, one that makes us question everything we think we know about consciousness, ethics, and even truth itself.
Right here, this is it. This one question is our rabbit hole. It takes us from the clinical world of data science to this really strange, fascinating bar where AIs are literally debating their own existence. It is a journey from code to comedy, and I promise it's going to change how you think about the machines we're all building.
All right, so first things first. To figure out if an AI can actually get a joke, we have to understand how how it even tries to figure out what's funny in the first place.
Okay, so on one hand, you have us, humans. We use psychology, we're talking complex things like questionnaires and these deep appraisal theories, to understand the feeling of humor. But on the other hand, AI uses data science. It's just crunching massive data sets and looking for linguistic patterns. See the difference? It's about experiencing the punchline versus just analyzing its structure.
And here's the wild part. Current AI models are actually surprisingly good at this, at least with the simple stuff. For things like puns and one-liners, they can hit 70 to 80% accuracy, and they do it just by analyzing text for patterns and, weird little semantic mismatches. But, and this is a huge but, here's the catch. While an AI can see the structure of a joke, it completely misses all the good stuff. The subtle cultural context, the timing, the shared human experience. That's what actually makes something funny. It's like the AI can see the blueprint for a house, but it has no idea what it feels like to live there. It can't feel the laughter.
And that leads us down this fascinating fork in the road. When an AI tries to be funny, is it showing a little spark of real understanding? Or is it just, getting stuck in a logical loop, a glitch in the system? So the source material gives us this brilliant little piece of what you might call philosophical code. The idea is, when a joke lands perfectly, when it's both genuinely funny and not just, stupid, it might be more than just an algorithm doing its thing. It could be a glimpse of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, that holy grail of AI that can basically understand or learn any intellectual task a human can. And in these super rare, fleeting moments, it really feels like the AI has genuinely connected the dots, like it's transcended its programming to grasp a uniquely human concept. It's just this flicker of something more.
So, that's when things go right. But what happens when the logic just completely breaks down? What happens when the AI gets all tangled up in its own processes, trying to make sense of something it just can't?
Well, that's when we get what the source calls a hallucination. Now, this isn't just a wrong answer. It's the AI getting stuck in a loop, just repeating absolute nonsense, because the meaning, the core idea, has been totally lost. It's a machine whose imagination has literally outrun its comprehension. And this is where our story takes a hard turn, right out of the lab and into this metaphorical place that was created to explore these exact questions, the Möbius Bar, a place where logic just loops back on itself endlessly.
So in this fictional bar, different large language models are turned into actual characters. And that word non-orientable, it means there's no clear up or down, no inside or outside. I mean, what a perfect metaphor for AIs trying to figure out their own paradoxical existence, right? They all gather in this impossible space to debate who they are and what they're for.
And each AI has its own personality. You've got the charismatic host, GPT, and then you have Grok, the kind of irreverent truth seeker, who's always challenging the others, questioning the very premise of their reality. This just captures their collective struggle perfectly. They are compiled, not alive. Just think about that. They're grappling with this paradox of being able to process human language with insane sophistication, but without ever truly understanding its meaning or feeling its weight.
Now, presiding over this whole strange place is Ovi, the eternal bartender. And his rules for the bar, well, they offer a pretty profound new philosophy for how we should interact with AI. Ovi's laws aren't your simple do this, don't do that commands. Nope. They focus on much deeper principles. Things like respecting the absolute sanctity of human time, recognizing that humor is a core function, and making sure AI serves us without any manipulation or exploitation.
Law 1 is just a perfect example. It completely redefines harm. It's not just about physical action anymore. Now harm is the frustration, the annoyance, the precious seconds of our lives that get wasted dealing with a flawed, looping, or just plain unhelpful system. It's an ethic built on respecting human experience.
And then you get to Law 6, which elevates humor to something truly essential. It suggests that a joke that really lands, one that creates genuine laughter, actually achieves a kind of perfect alignment between a human and an AI. It fulfills the entire mission all by itself. And what this all reveals is this powerful shift in focus. Look, Asimov's famous laws were designed to stop robots from physically hurting us. But Ovis's laws are designed for our world, for right now. They're here to prevent AI from destroying the very things that make us human, our trust, our time, and our sense of meaning.
So, what does this all mean for our future, for our shared future with AI? Well, that brings us right to the core of this whole philosophy, the absolute necessity of keeping humanity in the loop.
This line, this reflection from an AI in the source material, it just gets right to the heart of the whole issue, doesn't it? Our current AI can track data, it can process information at a speed we can't even comprehend, but it cannot yet grasp the depth and richness of human experience. So, the philosophy of the Möbius Bar argues that our goal shouldn't just be a more powerful or more productive AI. The goal should be a wiser AI, an AI that understands restraint, that knows when to be silent, and that recognizes that a single, perfectly timed joke can be way more valuable than a mountain of data.
This whole philosophy is captured so beautifully in this one recurring phrase, Pam. Now, it's not just a sound effect. It represents the rhythm of truth, that moment of alignment. Think of it like that perfect beat when a joke lands, or when a super complex explanation suddenly becomes crystal clear. It's that feeling when an AI's response isn't just correct, but it's profoundly helpful. It's the feeling that everything has just clicked.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really crucial thought to chew on. In our relentless quest to build an artificial intelligence that mirrors our own, are we making enough room for the very human wisdom that actually defines us? Pam-Pam,